Futurama never kept Bender one-dimensional. Between the jokes and the chaos, these are the times we were on Bender's side. To open things up, here's Bender learning that love can hurt more than steel. Bendless Love, Season 3, Episode 6. Bender's troubles begin when he damages the Planet Express ship while sleep bending. He doesn't even know he's doing it, but the professor still throws him out until he can stop.
Then he can't stay here. He's a menace to every straight person in the company.
From Bender's point of view, that feels unfair. Bending is part of who he is, and being punished for something he can't control makes him feel rejected just for existing. Looking for a place to belong, Bender finds work at a bending factory. Surrounded by machines and metal, he feels at home. It's here that he meets Angeline, a kind and caring robot, and Flexo, who looks exactly like Bender except for the small metal goatee. Bender quickly feels drawn to Angeline. He tries to talk to her and impress her.
Are you sure? Maybe I should sneak a peek at your access panel.
They share time together, from bending lessons to an electric kiss, and soon they begin dating, going out on boats and bicycles, enjoying each other's company. Even though Bender had been humiliated by his friends before, he still wanted to share his happiness with them. He proudly tells everyone he's in love and invites them to dinner.
I'm in love, and I'm taking all my friends out to celebrate.
But at the restaurant, he sees Angeline laughing with Flexo. Jealous and angry, he storms over to confront them. They explain that they were divorced and only want to stay friends. Bender hides his true feelings by pretending he was upset about the wine.
What I'm actually outraged by is your choice of wine.
But deep down, he is not convinced. From the outside, his jealousy looks selfish, but to Bender, it comes from wanting something real for the first time in his life. Instead of handling it honestly, he makes a mistake. He disguises himself as Flexo to test Angeline, hoping to find out if she truly loved him or still cared for Flexo. As Flexo, he talks badly about himself, but Angeline insists she loves Bender.
Quit making with the googly eyes, and you know that I'm in love with Bender.
Wanting to test more, he takes her dancing. Soon, she admits she still remembers why she once loved Flexo, and the two even share a kiss. At that moment, Bender's fake goatee falls off, and Angeline learns the truth. Hurt and angry, Bender accuses her of cheating.
There's only one reasonable course of action now. Kill Flexo!
And in heartbreak, he lashes out at Flexo. The turning point comes back at the factory. Bender and Flexo fight, and Flexo ends up trapped under an unbendable girder. Everyone thinks it's over for him. Bender could have walked away. Flexo was his rival after all. But when he hears that Angeline still loves Flexo and wants to be with him, he chooses differently. To make her happy, Bender bends the impossible girder and saves his rival's life. It was a moment that made us all root for Bender, not against him. Next, we have Bender facing something scarier than pirates or ghosts, becoming obsolete. Obsoletely Fabulous, Season 4, Episode 14. This one starts with Bender facing a shocking problem, a new robot. Robot 1X is faster, cleaner, and just better than him. Unlike Bender, who runs on beer and smoke, Robot 1X runs on pollution and gives fresh oxygen. Bender feels old, useless, and left behind while no one understands him. Who wouldn't feel worried if someone else is doing your job better?
You do think I need an upgrade?
Yes, for God's sakes, yes!
Fine.
Determined to keep up, Bender goes to Mom's friendly robot company for an upgrade, but he sees other robots lose their personality during the process. Scared, he jumps out, refusing to change who he is. Sad and depressed, he wanders off to a remote island, where he finds old robots who refuse to take upgrades. He joins them and becomes a wooden, steam-powered robot. He helps lead the group, and even when things get messy, he shows courage and determination. For once, Bender isn't just a troublemaker, he's fighting for what he believes is right. And you can't help but support him. He decides to strike against civilization's use of technology, believing that leaving the old behind for the new was wrong.
We're going back to civilization to wage war on technology!
He and the old robots begin attacking modern machines, and soon his next target becomes Robot 1X. Bender cut the power to the crew's home and entered, declaring,
I've come to free you from your complicated lives!
But the attack on Robot 1X went wrong. The shot missed and struck the Planet Express ship instead. The crew was pinned beneath the wreckage as fuel leaked and flames spread fast. They called out for Bender's help, but his wooden body was already catching fire. Then Robot 1X arrived. At first, Bender snapped at him to stay away, but soon realized he was their only chance. once. Bender asked him to save the crew. Robot 1X quickly put out the fire and rescued everyone. While Bender was lying there in the form of ashes, he admitted that technology wasn't the enemy. It was how you used it that mattered. What makes this episode worth remembering is that, for once, Bender wasn't fighting for money, fame, or ego. He was fighting against being replaced, trying to prove that the old still had value. From fear of replacement to faith itself, this next story takes Bender into deep space. Godfellas, Season 3, Episode 20. The story begins in the middle of a wild space fight with space pirates, when Bender gets accidentally shot out of the ship. Lost in deep space, he drifts alone. Yet in classic Bender fashion, he stays bold, even passing the time by playing piano as if nothing was wrong. But then something extraordinary happens. A shower of rocks hit him, and out of the chaos, tiny creatures called shrimpkins land on his metal body. The shrimpkins see him as their god, and for once, Bender loves the attention. He chooses one of them to speak with, Malachi. To impress Bender, the shrimpkins brew tiny batches of beer, but the process costs them dearly. Malachi loses his arm during the work, and the others die from the fumes. Bender feels guilty.
Malachi, tell thy people that the Lord is moved by their plight.
His tears fall, and without meaning to, he floods their village. Malachi's son nearly drowns, but Bender saves him just in time. When they pray for wealth, Bender drops them a silver coin, only to see it nearly crushes them. When they ask for sunlight, his attempts start a fire. He blows it out, but the wind destroys even more. No matter how hard he tries, he only makes things worse. Malachi warns him that people are turning against him, saying their prayers go unanswered. Bender admits that every time he tries to help, it causes more problems. His heart is in the right place, but his power is clumsy. Soon, the shrimpkins turn on each other, building atomic weapons from Bender's nuclear pile. Their war ends in total destruction, leaving their world in flames. After the shrimpkins destroy themselves, Bender keeps drifting through space until he encounters a cosmic entity, often interpreted as God. They talk about how helping others directly often leads to unintended harm.
Are you God?
Possible. I do feel compassion for all living things.
And the entity explains that it now uses a light touch, helping subtly, so no one can tell it intervened at all. On the other hand, Fry says aloud that he wishes Bender were back, and the entity hears him. It then flings Bender back to Earth with no clear answers, but a new understanding. He may not have figured out how to be a god, but he learned something simpler. Sometimes doing the right thing means knowing when to let go. The next chapter takes us to shadows, werecars, and Bender's rare brush with terror. The Honking, Season 2, Episode 18. You wouldn't guess from the title, but this episode starts with Bender getting some strange news. His uncle Vladimir died and left him a creepy old castle in Robo-Hungary.
Well, I'm rich. Goodbye, losers whom I've always hated.
Excited, he drags Fry, Leela, and the rest of the crew to go see it, hoping for treasure. But the castle is dark, cold, and full of weird noises that makes Bender nervous. At the reading of the will, he learns the catch. He has to spend one whole night inside the castle to get the inheritance,
on condition that he spend one night within its walls.
Oh man, there's always a catch.
The castle is haunted in the truest sense. Strange noises echo through the halls, and suddenly glowing binary code appears on the wall in blood-red writing, sending Bender running in fear. He soon sees the ghost of his uncle telling him that death will be pleasant.
Come, Bender. You like being dead.
Even the paintings on the walls turn into floating ghosts. Meanwhile, Professor Farnsworth discovers the truth. Dead robots were not buried properly, so their programs leaked out, creating the holograms. But before they could explain this to Bender, he panics and rushes out from the castle, only to get hit by a mysterious car. His crew wakes him up and takes him back to Planet Express, but his fear keeps getting worse. Bender can't sleep, haunted by nightmares. His eyes are bloodshot, and for once, the loud, fearless robot is broken and close to collapse. Desperate, Bender seeks help from a coin-operated gypsy bot. She tells him the shocking truth. He has become a werecar.
For you see, you are a werecar.
A werecar?
Cursed after being hit. Each night, he will transform into a killer car, running down innocent people. Worse, the curse will get stronger until he kills his closest friend. Bender pleads not to hurt anyone and is told his only chance is to destroy the original werecar. That night, Fry and Leela seal him inside a wall to stop the transformation. But as midnight strikes, his arms twist into wheels and he turns into a car. He smashes out and nearly runs over Leela, who just manages to stop him with a crane. The next morning, the crew tracks down the original werecar, Project Satan, who proudly admits to enjoy killing.
Misery? What misery? I love killing people.
When midnight comes, Bender changes again, and now two cars, Bender and Project Satan, chase Fry and Leela. In the chaos, Project Satan crashes into a furnace and is destroyed, breaking the curse. In the end, Bender believed Fry has died.
He was my best friend, and I killed him.
But when Fry returns alive, Bender immediately strangles him for stealing his last beer. It's classic Bender. Selfish, rude, and funny. From horror to heartbreak, this episode strips away Bender's armor of arrogance. Lethal Inspection, Season 6, Episode 6. It all kicks off with a goofy reenactment of the Sith-Al War. The Planet Express crew is on the losing side, and at the end, Hermes officially declares the Sith overlords as the winners of the battle.
The winners, at a net cost of only $12 per life, cut tragically short, our Sith overlords!
Right after that, everyone was sore and hurting from their wounds, but Bender kept strutting around, bragging like always.
Don't you wish you were flawless like me? Towering inferno of physical perfection?
Sounds like classic Bender, right? But then comes the twist. He sat on a chair and noticed oil leaking from his body. After a checkup by Farnsworth, it turned out to be a symptom of a fatal defect. Bender was so sure that even if he died, he could download his backup copy into an equally fabulous body.
If I die, I can just download my backup copy into a new, equally fabulous body.
But then he finds out there is no backup. None. If he breaks, he's gone. Just like that. For a robot who never stops talking about being indestructible, that's crushing. His tough act slips, and for the first time, Bender looks honestly scared and broken. Shaken up by the truth, Bender won't let it go. He has to know who Inspector Number 5 is. Why would someone approve a broken robot? He drags Hermes to the central bureaucracy, desperate for answers. But when Hermes logs in with his ID, the files are gone. The electronic record, deleted. And not just the digital files, even the physical ones were wiped out. It's like Inspector Number 5 never existed. In a panic, he calls Mom's friendly robot company and admits he's defective.
Is this the robot company? Because I have a complaint about a defective robot. His name is me.
But instead of helping, Mom orders her killbots to destroy him, not wanting her products to be disgraced. Suddenly, Bender's running for his life, dodging lasers, clinging to Hermes, and riding a train down to Tijuana, the place where he was built. The factory is empty, falling apart. He finds a book in a trash bin with an address for Inspector 5. He goes inside the house, but it looks abandoned. Spiderwebs covered the corners, and lizards crawl on the floor. The last hope of finding Inspector 5 is gone. That's the breaking point. For the first time, Bender feels small. Maybe there are no answers. Maybe he really can die.
And now I'm gonna die. I deserve better.
Hermes tries to calm him, saying that
You are Bender, which is something Inspector 5 will never be.
just as that lesson sinks in and Bender chooses to live, the killbots burst in and open fire. Hermes pushes Bender to escape while he hacks the old computer, faking Bender's death in the system and finally driving the killbots away. Back at Planet Express, the place is chaos without Hermes. But he fixes it all in no time, like nothing happened. Bender's back to laughing and partying with the crew, pretending the weight is off his shoulders. But the real gut punch comes later, when Hermes quietly burns a hidden file. The proof that he was Inspector Number 5 all along. He's the one who saved baby Bender from being scrapped, and he's kept it a secret ever since. Bender never learns, but Hermes smiles in the firelight, knowing he gave that scared little robot a chance at life. Finally, we come to the time when Bender lost his strength, but found his song. Bendin' in the Wind, Season 3, Episode 13. Things start badly for Bender. Fry and Bender were on a random walk when they found an old Volkswagen van that runs on whale oil. They take that van with them. Bender is asked to open a giant barrel of whale oil with a massive can opener.
Oh no, I'm not going near it. Last time, that magnetic psycho nearly cut my head off.
Then the magnet goes wrong, slamming into him and leaving him completely stuck. Now he can't bend, steal, drink, or even move. Doctor says that his hydraulics are shot, and he will never be able to move again. How does a robot who's always in control handle being powerless? Bender was left immobile, with no clear solution in sight. Patch Cord Adams appeared, a doctor who tries to heal through humor, but even that approach did nothing. The crew could only watch, unsure of how to help. Then suddenly, he hears the sound of soothing music. That's Beck. He was also embodied using the body of a mannequin. Bender shares with him that he dreamed of being a musician just like him, but now he can't due to his condition. But Beck's motivated him.
You'll be the best musician ever.
He also gave him his robotic washboard arms and a chance to join a folk music tour. Hesitant but curious, Bender accepts, stepping into something bigger than mischief. At the concert, Bender plays the washboard for crowds of humans and robots. He's creative, determined, and unexpectedly gentle.
Got a washboard stomach and a microphone.
On the roadside, he meets broken robots who admire him, but he feels bad for them. Inspired, he writes a song about their struggles and launches a benefit concert, Bend Aid, in Francisco. He's excited to be famous. He recalls how he was devastated when told he'll never move again, but instead of giving up, he's proud of what he accomplished all while immobile, until he realizes he can suddenly move again. It's a miracle.
Bender, you can move! You're cured!
Oh, crap! It's a miracle!
Still, he knows that broken robots look up to him because they believe he's like them. So he fakes being broken to inspire hope. The concert is a success. His music feels genuine, touching, and warm, making the robots feel seen. At the end, he announces a foundation for broken robots and performs My Broken Friend. Lost in the moment, he forgets to fake immobility and starts moving. The crowd feels betrayed, turns on him, and attacks. He barely escapes. Did he deserve their anger? Not really. Bender's heart was in the right place. For once, he cared, inspired, and showed a side beyond his usual selfishness. Every step of the way, Bender shocks us. He's selfish, loud, and reckless, but he's also brave, smart, and yes, sometimes a real hero. From crazy adventures to moments that hit the heart, these are the times we couldn't help but to root for him. Which one made you cheer the loudest? Drop a comment and don't forget to like and subscribe.